Bill Burr destroys his reputation. So I don't want to hear it from the soy boys telling me, Bill Burr is actually based. Brother is accepting Saudi blood money, going back on everything he's ever stood for. Bill the Backbone Burr, because he doesn't have one.
Usher, Beyonce, and Mariah Carey actually did private New Year's gigs for $1 million. Did New Year's gigs for Gaddafi's kids. Can you fucking believe that? How much fucking money do you need to make, you know? You're going to take
Bill Burr spent the last year building the high horse that will trample on his bald head.
a gig where you're going to go dance like a goddamn fucking clown for a mass murderer's kids? And then you take that fucking blood money and what he's done. You couldn't remember that he...
Maybe he has dementia. This is from 2011. 14 years ago is what we call moral posturing at its finest.
claimed he was behind the Pan Am bombings that killed fellow Americans. The fuck is wrong with you?
The Royals loved the show. Everyone was happy. The people that were doing the festival were thrilled. And
This was before he got married. Oh.
yeah, it was just this great positive thing. And I got to tell you, just to be a part of that was fucking amazing. And the comedians that I've been talking to just saying like, dude, you can feel it. They wanted it. So it was a mind-blowing experience. Definitely top 3 experiences I've ever had.
All right, so after years of Bill Burr trashing celebrities for taking blood money and railing against billionaires and ranting about wealth inequality, he decided to go to Saudi Arabia and accept money from the royal family, who are known for using modern slave labor, which he's being paid not to mention and help cover up. You know, when he got back,
You know, the guys who just sponsored 9/11. Remember that?
talked about how amazing Saudi Arabia was. So he went from saying billionaires need to be put down like rabid dogs to taking money from a trillionaire family that's known for human rights
Just a little bit of terrorism. That's funny.
violations and modern slavery and will kill citizens that speak out against them. So I don't think it gets more hypocritical than that. But as we know,
You know, the guys that we launched entire military campaigns against.
obviously money talks, and it turns out Bill will drop his morals and destroy his reputation and credibility for $1.5 million. And now he's just getting cooked for it. People are so pissed at him and everyone doing the festival. Like, this has become a pretty big controversy, but out of everyone, Bill was definitely the most shocking for people.
It's because he has a history of shitting on the very thing that he's now doing. How do you think that's going to go over? Yo, is that Philion right here? The hell? Do not redeem the comedy festival.
I mean, I don't think anybody is that surprised to see Tom Segura and Andrew Schultz taking the gig. So Bill, he's taking the most shit for this, you know, especially because of how hard he was just trashing the ruling class not too long ago. Like, I don't know how you could go from saying billionaires need to be put down to taking money.
This is a hilarious thumbnail.
The Saudi royal family.
Especially because Shane Gillis is the Chad with the 50 stars and 13 stripes. The only reason you should be in the Middle East is for oil.
In less than a year. And it's not like Bill's career was falling apart and he desperately needs the money. I mean, he's already loaded.
My new perspectives is
Chris DiStefano talks about 9/11 all the time too. What a loser. It's because Saudi Arabia is culture washing. They are importing talent from the West because they don't have any.
nothing wrong with being a billionaire, but if somebody is working 40
What you need to understand is that millionaires hate billionaires.
hours a week, 160 hours a month,
That is all. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
and they can't make their rent, you're not paying them enough money. Maybe you should just be worth 900 million. Like, how does a CEO take a 8-figure bonus and none of your employees have dental insurance? They can't even go out and get a filling.
Tired of hearing about people going to bed worried about what's going to happen next week. There is so much fucking money in this country, and there's so much work being done, you know. And if you work a full fucking week at a job, you should be able to pay your fucking rent. You shouldn't have to go out and get a fucking job.
So Bill Burr's going to donate all this money to charity, right? He's going to be a cool guy and give it to the poor.
And still be struggling. It's bad for the country. At least
He's going to give it to me, right? Because I'm cooler, more handsome, and have more aura and funnier on kick.com/Philion, streaming 7 days a week.
these fucking billionaires, They need to be put down. You know, like fucking rabid dogs. They're like rabid with fucking greed and just going out and just dividing everybody.
So I have a feeling we probably
Once he gives me my million, I will leave him alone.
won't hear him talk like that anymore. And if he does, everyone's just going to clown on him. There's no way people will take him seriously. I mean, he's just shameless. And he must have thought people wouldn't have really paid attention to the festival and it wouldn't have been that big of a deal because this is such a bad look. And it was kind of under the radar until a few weeks ago when other comedians...
Imagine finally getting to the bag and some bald cuck starts saying you need to be put down like a rabid dog. That's when you know you made it. How you hating from outside the club? You can't even get in.
started calling them out. And then this clip of Shane Gillis went viral where he was talking about how he's turned down multiple offers. And now this story has gotten a ton of attention and everyone's commenting on it. And people are really disappointed in Bill Burr especially.
Everyone's like, yeah, you should do it. Everyone's doing it.
This edit should have a Giga Chad filter on Shane Gillis's face.
Like, for Saudis?
Yeah.
Weren't those the 9/11 guys?
So I thought.
Aren't they exactly the 9/11 guys?
Now, there's a lot of drips, killjoys, and dweebazoids who are saying, oh, they shouldn't do comedy over there because it's whitewashing a regime that just in June killed a journalist and killed Jamal Khashoggi and played a big role in 9/11.
Listen, there is no problem in being bald. It just happens to be an amplifier. Just make sure that if you are bald, you're a nice, respectful, admirable person, and it won't be used against you.
Shut up. Name one comedian who hasn't whored themselves out to a dictator.
Incredibly lonely it can feel to look around and see people you used to admire and respect cave and show up in Saudi Arabia to take a check and abandon even the most basic principles they always claim to hold. These people have failed to employ the most basic common sense and critical thinking, and others have decided to cynically accept money in exchange for whitewashing and BS. At the same time, these same people...
That's Mohammed bin Salman, for those of you who don't know the reference. MBS, Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
...will claim to be progressive here in the United States.
That's the chick that escaped Scientology. I escaped wokeism.
I have to tell you, I really think that Bill Burr sort of fucked up here, bro.
I can't wait for billionaires to start crying about Elon being a trillionaire.
I really think he fucked up. This person said, hey, did you know that Bill Burr is going to the Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival?
What is Draco Malfoy doing?
The Riyadh Comedy Festival. And I said, that can't be true. No. That's not true. Is it? No, that's not true. Come on. Turns out it is, y'all.
They've sold their soul. They've sold their ability to talk about shit. You're fucking hypocrites
This guy looks easy to draw.
now. And everything you say is to be looked at through the lens of taking millions of dollars from slave owners.
And also, obviously, part of the deal for these free speech warrior comedians is they can't say anything bad about the Saudi family, culture, government, religion, and I'm sure a ton of other stuff. And even before they went there, they weren't allowed to criticize any of that on their own podcast.
It's just the most antithetical collaboration and opportunity ever. It's contradictory and hypocritical. Free speech, comedians, Saudi Arabia, edginess, throw you off a roof. How about those women? It's all cooked.
In America, like Tim Dillon originally accepted an offer and he started ranting about how they use slave labor on his podcast.
So what? So what they have slaves? It's not my country.
And that got him fired. So these comedians have to censor themselves and just say positive things.
$300K for Tim Dillon ain't shit. That's what I've been saying. You know, my price, they wouldn't be able to afford it. I actually go band for band with MBS and the Trust Fund Commonwealth of Saudi Arabia.
Things about Saudi Arabia. They're basically Saudi shills now. Like, as soon as Chris DiStefano got there, they put a camera...
Where's my bag? It feels like once you reach a certain age, people just start adding zeros to your paychecks. That's why I think the move is to just demand more money now. Why should we pay more? Because I deserve it. I think it's all fake and gay.
In his face and made him talk about how much he loves Saudi Arabia.
I'm loving this country so far. I've been here for about 10 hours. I've eaten
more food than you can imagine. I want to know what I can do to become a Saudi citizen. My first time ever. I've never even been
Is
to
this
the
like
Middle-
soaked in irony? I just love Saudi Arabia. It's the best place ever, actually. I'm trying to passport bro Max here. You know I'm on demon time when jokes pop into my head and I have to hesitate to say them. I'm on kick.com/Philion. I'm looking for a sand Latina.
Least. But when I'm here now, I literally am like, why was I always so... Why did I never want to come here? I wish I would have come here 10 years ago. I want to hopefully... I'd like to start another family in the Middle East and not tell my family back home. I'd like to live 2 lives.
And this is obviously what the festival is mostly about, just them doing positive PR for Saudi Arabia. So these comedians will never live this shit down. Like, every comedian that didn't do it is just going to be...
Maybe this is performance art. This is the joke. And I gotta give it to them. They're killing it.
...in their balls about it, especially the ones that turn down offers, which is going to be great. You know, I'm looking forward to that.
This is basically the same thing we see when folks go on a voyage to Israel. Kiss the wall. Yeah, pray to the box. Pray to the fucking box. Keep doing laps.
I mean, Bill Burr needs to be roasted for this. Like, other than Chris, he might be shilling the most so far. It sounds like he really wants to do more gigs.
Try not to be hung while making fun of Saudi. Challenge. Difficulty. Impossible. How fast can I get stoned to death?
There, like, he does not give a fuck. I mean, he's getting a ton of backlash. His fans are so disappointed. All his comments are negative, and people want to hear what he has to say about it. And he did address it on the most recent episode, but he just talked about how amazing it was and how it's the best thing he's ever done, which is
the irony could make it funny if they didn't all suck. So true.
Exactly what the Saudis want. Like,
you get better bang for your buck. Holler for your dollar over on kick.com/Philion, streaming multiple days a week, the most disruptive multimedia enterprise in cyberspace. Third Eye Global to the top soon. Whipping the Nissan GTR.
This is why they're really paying him. And he obviously wants to keep doing gigs there and making $1.5 million a show. So, of course, he's going to go all out.
You just got to post 5 times on social media about how nice it is. Soy facing at a camel.
Out chilling for the Saudis.
Of Saudi Arabia is what I've seen, like, on the news.
How can you make jokes in Saudi Arabia when there's a genocide in Gaza? Oh, I'm schizoing out. Chad, I'm an animal this late at night. I normally don't stream this late. It's 9 p.m. on a Wednesday. What have you gotten me into?
I really think I'm going to fucking land, you know, and everybody's going to be screaming, death to America. And they're going to have like fucking machetes and want to like chop my head off, right? Because this is what I've been fed about that part.
Well, you know, they did it to Jamal Khashoggi, and they do it to people that they don't like. They're detractors, but they kind of need you to fix their image of brutally murdering people. Like, what the fuck is this logic? Yeah, I've been spoon-fed this American propaganda about how the Middle East is evil. Buddy, you're supposed to never forget. The Twin Towers. That's my city. Oh, I'm going to alt.
Part of the world, right? And we're flying over it. It's nothing but like these long roads and sand. It's like nothing. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I get myself into? And then we land, and everybody's just regular. They're dressed different, but they're regular. Like people just shooting the shit. Hey, how you doing? You know, welcome. We're saying, hey, we know we're happy to be here. And we're driving around, and then I'm just like going like, I thought this place was going to be like really tense.
See, I understand what Bill Burr's saying here, because a lot of people don't understand this. It's rumored that MBS is actually an atheist, meaning the crown prince, the leader of Saudi Arabia, is not actually a staunch Muslim, and a lot of the Arab world is leaning that way as well. It's just that in order to unify these states, these sovereign nations, there has to be an underlying theme of Islam. It has been adopted into a cultural practice more so than a stringent religion. It keeps the masses occupied with bread and circus. Pray to the box. Face Mecca 5 times a day. Say your prayers. Ramadan, the whole 9. But Sharia law on the global scale, bad for business, and they understand that. That's why they are trying to open up their markets and diversify their bonds with the American and Western audience. You're not getting this insight anywhere else on the internet. That's why you need to go to kick.com/Philion. Watch the most based stream in existence.
And I'm thinking like,
give it 100 years, they'll have a New Testament Quran.
Is that a Starbucks? Next to a Pete's Coffee? Next to a Burger King? Next to a McDonald's? Next to a Pizza Hut? Next to a Dunkin' Donuts? Next to a Krispy Kreme? Next to a Cheesecake Factory? Next to a KFC?
Wow, Saudi Arabia has corporate slop too. It's just like America, right, guys? Except women just got the right to drive like 5 years ago.
Next to a Chili's? They got a fucking Chili's over here?
Yeah, I can't. Am I the only one with a fucking brain on my shoulders? Apparently not. Take it away, honestly.
Then we go into the mall because I want to get my kids something. There was a Timberland store. I could have bought Timberlands like I was in Brooklyn, New York. And then there's advertisement for like boxing and fucking...
See, I can't get down with the Saudis, bro. I have a lot of gay friends. In fact, I'm gay. And my existence is illegal in that country. And it's punishable by severe penalties, including death. I'm just trying to suck a cock. Is that a crime?
Formula One and MotoGP and golf and all of this stuff. And I was like, oh. And then it just struck me as funny. It's like, they're eating this shit too. They're going to have to get some bigger fucking clothes. They're going to end up looking like us. So.
Good old Billy slave trade. Yo, they should have asked him about Neom the Line. Yeah. Remember this shit show? Yeah, I wonder who's working on this. I bet a bunch of white Christian men.
I go down to do the show, right? And they say, all right, the front 2 rows is going to be all diplomats in these padded seats. And then up top, the royals are going to be there. And I could just feel like these fucking people, the people, okay, they want a fucking show. You could feel it. I was talking to the other comics. You could feel it. They wanted you to push, right? It was really fucking exciting. So I go up on stage and I start doing my shit, and they're fucking into it. Everything's going good. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm checking out the diplomats as I'm doing this stuff, and they're all fucking laughing. All right, so I'm going to push a little farther, and all of a sudden, I start getting in the zone. This is really amazing. And it was just this great exchange of...
Yeah, it's got to be exhilarating, knowing when to push and pull with your set, not knowing if the next joke is going to have your head on a fucking spike. We're all humans. Can't we just laugh? Bro's a literal court jester paid by the royal family to make them fucking laugh and dance. Otherwise, he gets thrown through the moon door.
Energy, right? So, the royals loved the show. Everyone was happy. The people that were doing the festival were thrilled. And, yeah, it was just this great positive thing. And
how many fucking times can they talk about doing stand-up? Jesus Christ, it's so one-dimensional. That's all they are. It's like all of these stand-up comedians have been legitimized via podcast money and social media. They've been propped up by midwits who think that these are like the soothsayers, the oracles of our time. Because everyone is so fucking cucked in their 9-to-5, wagey, sports on the weekend, bread and circusry, where they think that they can't actually make jokes, crack a smile, and say shit that's on their mind. Instead, they have to offload all of their intellect and wit to other people who are making way more money than them, who aren't even funny, who then fart in their own hands and sniff it on repeat, collecting sponsorship, ad revenue, ad infinitum, and then go on tours to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and pontificate how it's actually not that bad. Clip that and ship it. Holy buckets. Kick.com/Philion.
I got to tell you, just to be a part of that was fucking amazing. And the comedians that I've been talking to just saying like, dude, you can feel it. They wanted it. They wanted it. They wanted you to like the people want, like, you know, they go online and they see it. They want to like see real stand-up comedy. So it was a mind-blowing experience. Definitely top 3 experiences I've ever had.
And some of the comments on this podcast have almost as many likes as the podcast, which is a bad sign. And it has almost 80% dislikes. So he's just getting destroyed here. And like someone said in this podcast, Bill tells us about how Saudi Arabia is not bad because they have American fast food. And which
it's insulting, honestly. Yeah. They should not let this fly.
Take a gig in the U.S. where you're not allowed to make fun of Trump. And Bill hates billionaires, but only if they're not paying him. And all his comments on Instagram are the same. So I think a lot of people are done with him. I mean, his career will probably be fine. You know, his career in Hollywood will be fine. But it sounds like a lot of the fans of his podcast and fans of what he's been saying the past year about billionaires and wealth inequality are probably done with him. But let me know what you guys think. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out my Patreon. I just posted another Duncan Trussell video.
I feel like everyone has laughed harder with their friends than they have with any comic. Why are they so idolized? I think the purest form of comedy is with those closest to you. The lunch table at school, recess, at work, when you're really not supposed to. Hold on to those moments, because they remind you that you're human. Philion speaks of this.